Good morning and welcome to today's edition of our newspaper review on MAJO Television Network. Today, Friday, October 24, 2025. I am Wole Akingbasote and we are broadcasting from our digital television studio in Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria. Now we take our headlines today from the Hope newspaper. Like we all know, the Weekend Hope is one of the paper that is got produced from Ondo State, and here are the headlines coming from the Hope newspaper. Afeni Ferry, Northern leaders unite to end division, rebuild national trust. Tinubu swears in Amupiton, task him on safeguarding the electoral process. Ondo government hands over state-owned teaching hospital to federal government. Pensioners, Lord Ayedatiwa on bulk gratuity payment. 6. Reform to end incidents of unpaid backlog. From there, we move over to the Nation newspaper with the headlines that spreads with transparency, credibility, integrity must define elections, says Tinubu. Consensus, share bid, PDP split over ex-minister Turaki. EFCC backs students' loan consumer credit with 100 billion naira. The headlines also go further to say that SDP expels national chairman Gaban. Well, that ends the headlines of that newspaper. We now move over to the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper has Tinubu to Amupiton, make 2027 polls transparent and violence free. Federal government launches nationwide crackdown on oil and gold smugglers. Assailants shoot shawarma vendor dead in Lagos. Medical tourism spending falls 52% under Tinubu. That was said by the CBN report. And that ends that headline. While we move over to the Guardian newspaper. The Guardian newspaper has on its headline that Tinubu demands credible elections as Amupiton faces Anambra hurdle. Going to the headlines again, we have defections. Makinde, APC senator decry lack of political ideology in Nigeria. Kanu sacks legal team opts to represent self in court. The headlines also goes with 22,050 displaced children back to school in 3 northwest states, says SCI. With that, we move over again to the Daily Trust newspaper that has the headlines as Boko Haram attacks communities in Borno, Yobe. We killed over 50, injured 70 terrorists. That was said by the military. Again, on the headline, we have NUC approve 13 new courses for varsities. And again, we have after bandits attacks, Katsina communities struggle to rebuild. Also with the headlines, we have fire raises over 500 stores in Kano Market. With that, we move over again to the Daily Sun newspaper. Tinubu gives INEC chair and marching orders on Anambra Guba election. I will deliver free, fair, transparent polls, vows Amukuto as he assumes office. Going again towards the headline of the newspaper, we have NASS, that's National Assembly, moves to repeal Electoral Act. Reps moves to strip President of powers to sack EFCC chairman. Also in the headline, we have foreign inflows surge 231% to 1.03 trillion naira amid renewed investors' confidence. With that, we then move over to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper has in its headline as "Serve with integrity, Tinubu tells new INEC boss." Students protest, block highway over killing of 10 in Ondo Road accident. Another headline, we have land ownership. Oyo government tackles federal government, says revoked property no longer belong to federal government. Then another headline goes to the PDP convention that says how northern stakeholders adopted Turaki as consensus candidate for chairman. PDP BOT dismisses Anyanwu's allegation on alleged forgery. Well, that ends the Tribune headline. Now we move over to the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard newspaper, we have integrity of our elections non-negotiable by Amukuto, the new INEC chairman. Then the Labour Party crisis, Usman demands former acting INEC chairman's arrest. Again, on the election petition, the opposition parties back Senate on shifting burden of proof to INEC. Again, on the headline, we have PDP, Jonathan under pressure to drop 2027 presidential ambition. With that, we move over to the Punch Sports Extra. In the Punch Sports Extra, we have Michelle Alozie's interview. The Michelle Alozie interview have a quote, "The Nigerian great that I have in me, and I'm just so grateful and glad to be able to be part of the Super Falcons." Olowo Okere urges Flamingos to fight for survival. And with the headline again, we have a short story that says Gala record threes Osimhen. Again, on the Sports Extra, we have Falcons targets early advantage against Amazons. And that ends today's edition of the newspaper review on MAJO Television Network. But remember, hold leaders accountable. True patriotism isn't blind loyalty. Speak out against corruption, injustice, and poor governance. But do so constructively and lawfully. I'm Wole Akingbasate, signing off on MAJO Television Network. And have a great day. Thank you.